What's up, mofos?
Mofos. I am a mofo.
We're back. Cheers to you guys. We're
Are
here.
you a mofo or a milfo?
Depends on the day.
I like where this is going.
Is that a piece?
Anyways, how do I get out of this? Back to the editor.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're back. We took a little bit of a hiatus last week for a good reason. It was SummerSlam. Everybody except me was busy. And
Pretty much everyone had two tournaments last weekend too.
Yeah,
like
pretty
I fished
much.
Saturday and
I had a
Sunday.
TBF Saturday and SummerSlam Sunday. You had a club tournament Saturday and SummerSlam Sunday.
Jason,
Yeah,
what's up, brother?
It was a busy weekend last weekend.
Yeah, it was. Like, and honestly, I'm not to sound like a bitch or nothing, but like that took a lot of like Monday. I was tired because I was up
Dude,
at
I was
2 both
beat.
morning. Yes, I was like, damn, dude, like I'm tired.
I didn't even fish on. Normally I fish every Monday. Every Monday, every Tuesday.
What's up, Dan?
I didn't fish on Monday.
Yeah, no, I didn't even think about fishing on Monday. Well, I was supposed to
No, didn't
go
never
up to JCS on Monday, and that didn't happen.
Yeah, fishing never even crossed my mind.
Yeah. So, oh, don't forget to hit record, Megan. Where's Megan? Megan's supposed to yell at us for that.
Yeah, we haven't seen Megan on here in a while.
I didn't piss her off that I know of.
Where's she been at?
I don't know. So I guess
Yeah.
well, I did want to talk about I did finally get a chance to take the bullet up to JCS Marine today.
Yep. Let's definitely touch on the bullet.
Project Bullet.
So let me just first off say that.
Since you're being shredded in the comments, let's clear
Yeah.
this up.
So sorry, I'm closing the door. So,
Hey, what's up, Zach?
The first thing I gotta say is their shop is
Zach.
awesome. Their shop just looks.
Yeah.
It's serious. Like it's a really, really cool. Can we tag them? Because I want to give them a chance to talk if they have anything to say. But they're so. I'm out. I get there and the whole crew they basically walk out. I talk to John right away, and like before we can even break the rust off, John's crawling around in the bullet, and like you could tell he's very, very knowledgeable about everything. So that was pretty cool.
I can tell that just from our talk.
Oh yeah. So
What's up, Jake?
but so like they said in the interview, I think this is their third shop in 3 years in terms of having to upgrade. There was easily probably I'd say 30, 40 bass boats there, of varying levels of repair needed. But we didn't stick. I didn't stick around too long because I had to get home.
No,
I was
JCS.
on the road for
I know, it's
17
not
hours.
working.
You've typed in JSC.
There it is. There it is.
I think my keyboard dying.
Dyslexic. Anyway,
Or my brain.
it could be both. So so drive up there and immediately start talking to John, and then we drop off the boat. We sit there and talk chit chat about it for a little bit, and then we walked around the shop. Dude, there's some history in this shop. Like it was super cool to see. Like he had a boat sitting out front with the cover on, and he pulled the cover off. It was just the hull, and it was a bullet. I was like, oh, this is cool. Like what is it? He's like, oh, it's a 20cc. I'm like, a what? He's like, hold on. Let's walk around the corner. And he had the top cap sitting on a rafter, the CC, the center console bullet.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures, but it was wild, man. And you can tell that we were looking at some of the fiberglass that they had laid on that CC's hull, and it looked spectacular. Like it looked mint, as John would say. It really looked good. Like those guys know what they're doing. Over
Those
there.
center like in the late
Fantastic, fabulous, best we've ever seen.
the late 90s, that center console design was super popular in the Go Fast boat world. I mean, even Nitro had a center console.
Yes. There's a guy I've seen at a Joppa Town. There's a guy semi-locally that has it. Maybe he's like completely local. Triton actually had one too.
Triton had one. They were fast. as
Yes.
balls.
Yep. Triton
was a
had
really
one that was
fast
fast. I'm pretty sure Gambler had one for a while. Gambler had a center console. I know Allison
did.
had one as well.
Yeah, there were a couple of them. Allison. In fact, one of the guys in Hazard County has a center console Allison.
But yeah, no, it was a really
With a 150 that does like 85 miles an hour.
yeah, these things are ridiculous. There was
That's crazy.
150.
there was one at
Yeah.
there was one last Sunday.
It may have some work done to it.
But
Is it a show?
Huh?
Is it a show or a Merc?
It's an old Merc.
yeah, it's probably got giant carburetors on it. But yeah, I mean the shop was
got everything.
It's a huge shop. They had a couple of cool boats. They had an older, I think it was a 98 Bullet 20XD that they were getting ready to rebuild. It had a Ficht on it, so it was double trouble. It had a Ficht and a bad transom. but they're getting ready to flip that one. It's funny because the Champion page keeps posting that purple Champion that they had, and they post it like every day, and so they've been getting a lot of love for it. I didn't know this, but apparently from when we had them guys on the show, somebody from Texas is about to fly out and actually go to their shop for a consultation on a boat because they watch our podcast. I don't even know who watches us from Texas, so if it's you, this is super cool.
So,
but
yeah, Joe Mannion asks if money was no issue, what's the best boat out there?
if money was no issue, what's the best boat out? Okay, so
It's hard
I mean,
for-
it depends.
It's hard to
best
say
boat.
when
It
you haven't
depends.
been
Like best
in all of them, but like
best all around boat. I mean, if you're looking for, are you looking for speed? Are you looking for handling rough water?
I think
You're gonna hate me, but I'm gonna say Gambler.
I'm gonna go with my boy Andy, with our friend Andy Hauser's
I'm assuming he's
recommendation
saying
of
new
probably. I think Icons are probably very nice boats. if
Icon,
money is no
Ballistic.
issue.
Ballistics are nice
Yeah,
too.
Ballistic. That's a very fast haul.
Yeah, I mean,
Very
I don't
good
know.
rough water,
I
too.
still got to say the Gambler because I feel like
Yeah, but they don't really exist. I think we're talking new boats.
yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
You know, it's a shame because even when AMC, American Marine Corporation, owned the molds, they were under the Sterling name, but they still made a couple boats a year, and they were beautiful, well made boats.
Oh, yeah.
The Sterlings were.
Brian Trishman's got a Sterling.
Right. You see a couple of them around and they're beautiful boats. They were better off being Sterlings than they are now because they're gone and they'll probably never be back. I mean, because the name's been tarnished and destroyed. You better have multiple $1 million if you're ready to restart Gambler because not only do you have to build a boat, but you have to rebuild a reputation, which is tough. So Scott says Allison SB21, really better ride than the Champs. That's
yeah,
interesting.
until you get in more than 2 foot waves and then it spears every one of them.
Have you rode on one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you really? I've never even been anywhere near one. I've seen a couple like here and there, but I've never ridden in one.
Paul Reeder has one. He fishes the SQTs.
Is that the one with the 250 the 250R? Because he might have. There was
yeah.
one at SummerSlam. Was that?
No, that wasn't him. He was fishing the
wasn't
SQT that day.
Oh, okay.
But
Scott says driver error. I can believe that.
well, they just ride so nose low.
That's interesting
So
because
is my Ranger.
like bullets, dude. That thing. I feel like I'm doing a wheelie in that thing like all the time.
Hey Phil, what's going on, brother?
It's so interesting how different boats ride. But anyway, but yeah, like
It is. It's very interesting how different
those
boats ride.
guys are doing the real deal up there.
A Ranger 198P that I own runs different than a Ranger 198P that somebody else owns.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the same damn boat.
It's yeah, dude.
I
you
don't
need
think.
to-
I mean, I know it's like that with other boats too, but God, is it different?
I think you should get rid of your Ranger and get a Bullet like I did and just build it. Because you could literally, if you sold it, let's say you sell your Ranger right now, new haul for like 30 grand. Just find a Bullet and take every penny and put it into that.
I got no need for that. Or
It's
one
not
for
about
it.
need. I mean, get a 20 foot, get a 20 XD and have a 100 mile an hour bass
I don't
boat.
even want that.
Why? It'd be a,
Dude, if I sell the Ranger, I'm just gonna buy a John boat and send it down to Matt, and that's gonna be it.
I don't know. Like and that's the thing is the more I look into Bullets, and when I was telling the guys up at JCS today, the more I look at Bullet and what they do as a company, the more I really, really like it because they have a variety of hulls and each one's different and it serves a different purpose. So like if you want to go fast hull, you get the 21 RDC. I think they still make the XRD is the
Exactly, Greg. Get a delaminated bullet hull.
well, yeah, only if you're me. It's not delaminated yet, but you could get like if you want a 2110 or a 21 foot boat that's just fast as shit with okayish storage. Great, go get your 21 XRD. If you want to go and get
That's what I think, Joe.
What did Joe say?
I think he's referring to the John boat would be perfect for like local waters.
Oh
Which
yeah,
is kind of just where I'm at right now. I'm just like, I don't even need the headache of a bass boat, dude.
yeah. So Scott has a good comment. Scott talks about the Bass Cat. So When I was up at the shop today, they were working on, John was working on a Jaguar that he bought. Somebody totaled it, somebody hit it in traffic. And the guy, I guess it was an insurance claim. I didn't really get into the details, but he's building that boat, which is going to be freaking awesome. I don't know what he's going to put on the back, but I don't know John super well, but it sounds like John's a speed demon, so it's probably going to get at least a 300 on the back of that thing. I think Bass Cat's a great boat too. I agree with Scott. I think Bass Cat, in terms of mass-produced boats, I think Bass Cat's up there.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
I
with
think
that.
Phoenix makes a really good boat too.
I think Phoenix makes a nice boat.
And you guys all know I'm not a Phoenix fan. I don't have anything against Phoenix. The only reason I'm not a Phoenix fan is because everyone's got them. That's the only reason.
They were like that boat that came out and everybody had to have one.
Yeah. It's not even a good reason because I know they're good boats, but like me personally, like if everyone's got it, I just tend to stay away from it in everything, not
No
just
trash
boats.
talk on Phoenix whatsoever.
Oh, you can't trash talk them because they're amazing boats.
Everybody, if you are liking this live stream, you're into what we're doing, you appreciate us, do us a big favor, hit that like button and the share button, get some more people in here, helps
Bring us some
grow.
cold ones.
Yeah, bring us some cold ones. I got to hit the freezer in a second.
Me too.
And we really, really appreciate it because it helps us grow.
So
But,
Phoenix actually, I try to really stay
I'm
up
ditching
with
you for
the.
2 seconds.
Are you getting a beer?
Yeah, do you need one?
Please. So we're talking about boats. If you guys are just joining, obviously, I'm going through this bullet saga right now. It's not like a bad thing, but I've done a lot of research on boats recently because, and that's another thing. I want you guys to let us know in the comments. I'm thinking about doing a bass boat history series. You pick a brand manufacturer, thank you, sir, and go through from day one to modern day. What were some of the most successful hauls that they made? Blah, blah, blah. And just the overall history of it. Do you have an opener for this thing, or am I going to have to use my teeth?
Twist cap. No, it's not. Yes, it is.
Is it really? Oh, I've been driving too long today. Here they go.
You've been drinking these over here for months.
I know, dude. I'm out of it. So the guys from JCS are on. Welcome. I was just telling
JCS.
everybody how awesome the shop was and all the cool boats that you guys have over there. Dude, I think we're going to make a really great video when we go up there.
Oh, hell
It's
yeah.
going to be awesome. Like, there's a lot of stuff to see, and those guys are super, super knowledgeable. So I'm really looking forward to, one, my boat being done, but also making a cool video for them guys, because the thing about it is, I think what they do as a company, and, based on, they literally started a couple years ago during COVID. They found a niche and at the right time gambled and started this business, and it's been vastly successful. So I think it's great. I'd rather take a boat to them any day than to some giant manufacturer that just doesn't give a shit about you.
I'm coming up there with all the cameras and the audio equipment. We ain't gonna do no equi video either. It's gonna be nice.
Andy, there we go.
Hey, in the house.
Andy from
Andy
Team
Hauser.
Marines in the house. Andy, welcome. We're happy to have you on. So, all right, Andy, here's a question for you. So Joe asked us about 5 minutes ago, money's not an option. What's the best boat out there? Is it, I know you're probably going to say the Champ, but personally, I say the Gambler, maybe even the Sterling, given that the whole Gambler thing is a little touchy right now.
Hey, 40 East fishing in the house. What's up, Andrew? Your local snakehead guide. Hit him up. Come on.
So Joe asked, where's the shop at? JCS Marine, they're located up in Rhode Island. If you leave your house early, it's not bad. So on my way up, it was.
Oh my gosh, we got Matt. Holy shit.
We got dogs going crazy.
Matt
we got a
Downs
full
from
house.
Trick Tins in the house. What's up, Matt?
Scott and Andy are going to get
Oh.
into it. This is great. So Scott's a local boat guru in this area, and I definitely ask Scott for a lot of information whenever I have a question about the Bullet. Scott's the guy. All right, so Andy, the question is, if money's not an option, what's the best boat out there on the market today? And
the
we
one that
didn't
you would buy?
We didn't really determine, well, is it speed or whatever, but what in your opinion? I know you're probably going to say the Champ 203, but I got to ask.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be timing it with an airplane next time.
Yeah, we're definitely going to fly over it because my 5-hour drive up turned into an 8.5-hour drive back. I literally didn't get back until like 6:30. It was pretty bad.
Brand new, sir.
So yeah, any year, anything. Imagine you got it today, brand new off the floor. What would it be?
Whatever.
And what motor? Because I gotta know. He's gonna
Show.
say the Evinrude Ficht,
The show, dude.
and he's never gonna watch us again because I said the F word on the show. It's not the actual F word. It's Ficht. That's the real F word. If you know boats.
you.
Yeah, right. So Joe says he travels the Northeast Coast striper fishing and has hit traffic on that bridge at 2 a.m. Yeah, I hit it this morning at 5, and I was about to jump out of the truck.
Traffic at
Dude,
2
it was
a.m. on
awful.
that bridge.
I was so upset.
Is that like
so
that's the
mad.
only way?
Yes. Well, unless you want to, yeah, pretty
Like
much.
do something like
Pretty much.
ridiculously out of the way.
You either avoid the traffic or you go longer out of the way for the traffic. Like it's just it sucks. So while Andy's getting back to us, but yeah, we were, like I said, just to kind of wrap up the whole JCS conversation. That shop was extremely impressive. What they do is extremely impressive. I can't wait to see my boat, but like just seeing from what the 5 minutes that I saw when I was there, it's more like an hour, but it was really, really cool what they do. And they leave no stone unturned on these boats. Like when I saw that Bullet 20cc apart and saw that new fiberglass, you ever seen a really good weld where it's just this perfect beads? That's what their fiberglass looked like. Like it looked impeccable. So I think they're doing the right things up there, and I'm really, really excited to see them grow because I was extremely impressed. I mean, we've all been to shitty marine shops before, and you just kind of walk in, you're like, I don't know. But like what they do with these boats is just awesome. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. And if you follow the Champion page, you've seen their Champion build. Andy, if you're still with us, hopefully you've seen that. If you look on Champion Boats' Facebook page and you see a purple, insanely decked out Champion, my boys at JCS Marine just built that thing, and it's been getting love from everywhere. And it is one of the best looking boats you've ever seen.
I think it's one of the best looking boats I've ever seen.
It's
For
basic.
sure.
They
Like that-
basically popped. To my understanding, they rebuilt the whole thing. They redid the top, popped the top cap, redid everything, and it just. It's sleek. I mean, it's the nicest Champion I've ever seen for sure. No offense to Paul, of course.
Filthy
Oh,
Phil.
mine was a piece of
I'm
shit.
not. Honestly, I've heard a little bit about it. I
beat
haven't read too much up into it yet.
What?
To be honest with you, a little bit of the drama from the heavy hitters this week.
I don't know that there was drama.
No,
Wasn't
there was a
like-
ton of drama.
yeah.
Was there?
Yeah,
Okay.
a little bit of hole jumping.
Oh, okay. So here's
Little-
my question.
A little
Who's-
bit of MLF tagging people in posts that included video of where Jordan Lee was fishing.
Oh, that's interesting. Whose boat was Keith Boucher fishing out of?
They all fish out of the same boat.
So they went back to that then.
They do that
just for this tournament.
for heavy hitters. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Phil, were you at
So they
Heavy
were all
Hitters?
fishing out of Nitro Z18s.
Okay, that's cool. See, I liked MLF when they first started that. Like when it was like you don't know the lake and everyone gets the same boat.
When they
type of
did
thing.
the best thing or the worst thing that they ever did was go away from the no practice.
Yeah, I
Like
agree.
just you don't find out where you're fishing until the day you show
That's
up to
tight.
the tournament. That was the coolest
Yeah.
format ever.
I thought that was really cool.
I like that they limited the sonar and what they had on the boats.
So Phil,
You mean 1992?
1992.
Yeah,
what? I'm confused.
that's pretty much when they stopped doing that. Was like 1995.
No, I thought there was an event. I thought it was the Heavy Hitters event where they all had a 9-inch graph in the front, a 9-inch graph on the console with live scope.
Well, yeah, they all fish off the same stuff.
Yeah,
they all
fish
got the
off
same boat.
They all fish.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
all have the exact same setup.
You said it's a Z18
Yeah,
with a 150.
I did like that platform.
I think
thought that
that's
was
cool. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Like, and here's why I like it. I like it because it's basically your Weekend Warriors boat, right? Like most people that want to fish can go out and afford a Z18 with a 9 in the front and a 9 in the back and live scope. So I like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it. And Paul's probably going to disagree with me, and that's why I love this show because we disagree all the time. But like the average guy just can't relate to the 21-foot boat that's got 6 graphs up front, 4 transducers.
No, absolutely not.
No
No, I
way.
totally.
You know what I
agree with
mean?
you.
Yeah.
So like I feel like
But the
that-
average guy also doesn't need a 21-foot boat with 6 graphs on it.
I agree.
I think that's where the.
Hence
I think
why
that's where
I talked
the.
about going to the John boat.
I think that's where everybody gets, or a lot of the people get confused is, like, people want to emulate pros, right? Like we've done it since we were kids, you know, whether it be
yeah.
like a baseball player or you know, a professional fisherman, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So they think because a professional's fishing that way, that's the way that they need to fish. Well, guess what? The professional is traveling all over the country and has 4 days to break down a lake.
Right.
You're fishing in your backyard 3 days a week. If you haven't broken that water down by now, all the electronics in the world aren't helping you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Okay,
There was no GPS on those graphs.
No, they had GPS.
so we got to get
Okay, I
back
was gonna
to
say,
we got to get back to Joe's question because Andy
That's Scott's setup here.
Okay.
Andy just
Or what's that?
answered the question. So Andy says, like we knew he was going to say, Champ 203.
Ballistic and Icon.
Really, the ballistic. Okay,
So
that's
we
cool.
kind of.
That's why I said ballistic, because that's what
Yeah.
Andy told us.
Yeah, true.
Well, he also said that he liked the icons too.
Oh, yeah. No.
I will give Icon all the credit in the world because I was not like when I saw the price tag of the original Icon, I was like, is this a joke?
Oh yeah, I mean it's just
But-
kind of Steven, what's up, brother?
But I will say they totally came back and made a competitively priced boat for the rest of the market, and I respect the hell out of that.
But again, premium boat for premium price.
Agreed.
It's not for everybody. They didn't make it for everyone.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
that's see, and again, that's I feel like the fishing world has become really disillusioned that everybody should be able to afford everything that comes out.
Right. That's why you got to get an old clapped out 21-foot bullet and take it up to JCS Marine and spend a quarter of a new boat to have basically a new boat.
When is this Tiki Lee's race shootout thing?
My boat's not going to be ready, and I'm not racing the Ranger.
Dang
There's
it.
no way.
No, you're not racing the Ranger, but you freaking run that single motor category in the Bullet.
Oh, it'd be
Bass
over.
would be a radio taking the trophy.
What did
home,
John
baby.
Hansen's Bass Cat run last year? Did it touch 80?
Probably
I
82.
think it was like I thought it was like 75 or 76.
Oh, I got that all.
Oh, he should be able to get 80. He should be able to get 80 out of that boat.
Is it a Cougar?
I'm not sure. So I think he was running it with Little John in it, and I don't think he runs it like that when Little John's in the boat.
He just
Yeah,
ran fast
I've never
I just ran
run.
fast enough to win.
I've never run the Bullet empty, so I couldn't tell you. But with
That
the
is a
225,
fast
I
boat,
run
dude. I mean, that
75
is a scary
comfortably.
fast boat,
Yeah.
no doubt. You mean it would be a really really good race?
you think
but
about
I
it,
would
like-
love to see it.
75 is not really much faster than my boat.
So I want to get to Andy's comment because I completely agree with it.
Yeah.
Andy says that's going to be the new norm. Purchase them used and make them new, and that is exactly what I'm doing with the Bullet right now. You know, that's and that's kind of why I was like, hey, I'm going to send it up to these guys at JCS because no matter what, if they basically rebuilt the boat, it's still going to be cheaper than a new boat. You know what I mean? So for me, it's a no-brainer. If you get everything, you get all the benefits of the new boat, structurally and all that good stuff.
Greg said John went 78 with nothing in the boat.
78. Okay.
That's I mean, it's quick.
That's scooting.
Yeah, that's moving.
I mean, that's
That's
for sure.
fast.
That's comparable to the. I mean, that's faster than I've ever seen on my Bullet, but I don't know how to drive my shit yet.
Right.
So-
You also get butthole puckered and scared like I did in my
Yeah.
Skeeter.
Oh,
I had
yeah.
nothing in it.
Gut that shit and
And-
make them a gem. For
Yep.
Randy.
With
And it's what's coming down the pipeline with the way the prices are.
the thing with Tom and Nick is that works here, but that might not work everywhere. You know, that with them fishing out of an aluminum boat, it works great for Joppatown, but you know,
does
that-
it say it on here? No.
that doesn't necessarily work
wish it
as
did.
well on, you know, when you're out on the flats. And, you know, you're instead of having to go, you know, 2 miles to any spot, you have to go 15.
Right.
And now you have, you know, a John boat that does 30 miles an hour that takes you, you know, a spot that takes you a half an hour to get to, it takes me, you know, 12 minutes.
Right.
So over the course of the day, like, you know, that ends up in me having like an hour of fishing time more.
Oh yeah. Oh, I thought about it in the
I
tournament
I
Sunday.
want to go back to Greg's comment really quick though, because Look at Nick and Tom. They're taking everyone's lunch money in them trackers.
And
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I
that
agree
works,
with Paul.
That works
Very good here.
very good here, but not everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, they wouldn't be able to do the same if they lived on Rayburn.
Right.
You know, it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out as well when you got to make a 20-mile run to.
And just
you know,
to be
get
fair,
the
we're not
finish.
bashing anyone's fishing ability here, but
No,
Paul's
no.
absolutely right.
I'm just saying that style of fishing, you know, out of a boat like that, it doesn't
Let's
work
go,
for all
Phil.
locations. It works great around here, though.
Oh,
I mean,
around here it's excellent.
Around here is perfect. I mean, for fishing, you know, fishing the Gunpowder Bush, Middle River,
Yeah, for
Sassafras,
sure.
you know, all that stuff. It works fantastic.
Yeah.
So Andy, speed money, no brakes. Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
I gotta watch Andy's new video, with the mercury on the water recovery. I haven't had a
Did
chance
you
to
watch
watch
the
it yet.
Did you watch the
Oh,
flashing video?
I want to know. I want to know what.
Flashing video.
I want
yeah,
to.
we're
Yeah.
talking about the
He's talking
flashes
about-
are worth it.
No, I need to
Yeah.
watch
Oh,
that.
He's
yeah.
got a- he's got a video to talk about it.
Fantastic. It's
I gotta check that
fantastic.
out.
Very good video.
And I had no
I
idea.
want to know
there's-
what. I really want to know. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you, but Andy, I really want to know: was I right about the mercury of what you were getting ready to fix? That's what I want to know.
What'd you say?
Trim solenoids.
Okay. I'm curious.
And one thing I didn't know that they actually. First off, why can't we tune a diesel, but we can tune a boat? I guess it's different things.
Different government representatives.
No, it has to do with mercury and not allowing it.
Well, Mercury doesn't allow it, but Yamaha does, and they have compliant flashes that don't void your warranty. If now
I'm sorry.
now on the road right now,
They don't void your warranty?
yes, sir.
Holy crap. I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I believe it was from Nismo.
Greg, extra 20 minutes means a ton over the course of a day because it's 20 minutes every time you move. If it's an extra 20 minutes every time you move, that adds up to hours throughout the day.
Oh, I thought about that Sunday
Tom.
running where I ran. I was like, damn, it would be nice to be doing 75 in the Bullet right now instead of doing 60 or 55
Right.
in the Ranger.
I mean, that's only a 15-minute run.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big difference. That's a huge difference, though. That's almost 10-minute difference.
How long did it take you to get down there?
To where we started, probably 25 minutes, including the idle.
Really?
Including the
Oh,
idle.
because you idled. You went up toward Georgetown.
We had to idle, yeah.
Yeah.
Which sucks. I hate that idle. It's
Yeah,
the
I mean, I
stupidest
can see
idle.
that. Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, that's still. I mean, that's still. I mean,
It wasn't
in
bad.
my boat going balls out. I mean, that's still going to take me 20 minutes, give or take.
I mean, I'm just guesstimating. I did not look and see when I blasted off, but it sucked. Like, it sucked because I had just been running that Bullet and I knew I could be getting there a lot faster. And I was like, this is, but the ride was great. I mean,
I
Ranger
don't-
ride's awesome.
I don't need to go 80 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour because first of all, it's the Bay and you very rarely get to
Yeah,
run
it's true.
like that.
True.
But if you can run 65 to 70, the amount versus say 50, the amount of fishing time that you gain through the day, depending on how often you're changing spots, it's very significant.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure.
Probably save you an hour's worth of fishing time. I guess.
During
That's
the
a
day.
lot.
Yeah,
That's
An
a lot.
hour.
That is
I
a
mean,
lot. I mean,
On
that's a
tidal
lot.
water,
Yeah.
that's a whole lot. I mean, you're in the right place at the right time with the right tide. That's a
Right.
big difference.
I mean, that's huge.
That's a very big
Phil
difference.
asked if anybody's fishing the Ike next weekend. I am not.
It's next weekend.
It is. It's the first. I have a
Dude, they are hammering the flats right now.
When did they announce it?
6 months ago.
For real? I just missed it.
Really? I just saw the thing like 2 days ago.
So it's
Yeah, they
June.
announced it like
it's
6 months
like
ago.
June 1st.
It's June 1st.
Okay. Shit, I didn't.
I
know
have
that.
I have a club tournament on the Potomac.
hey, Petey.
That my buddy who was going to fish it, he wants to fish the club tournament instead. So we're gonna fish the club tournament.
Okay, so Andy has quite the collection. So he says in the shed, Champ 203.
And a never rigged 203.
What?
Like never rigged. like
Awesome.
Like never rigged. Period. Like it's a brand new hull.
Like that doesn't have a hole
Oh
in it?
my god.
Andy, I said trim solenoids.
Okay, wait a minute. So congratulations, you win nothing, but it was a good guess.
Jim,
So,
what's going on?
I got to read this comment because like this Andy has like my dream of life in his shed. So
Andy
he's got-
has like the garage that you've that you
This
you
is
pretty
like
much have your wet dreams.
if I
too.
like die and go to heaven, I'm gonna walk in Andy's garage in heaven. He's got a Champ 203, an Intimidator 20-foot. It's probably got. I'm gonna guess it's got a 225 on it if it's a 20. Probably an EFI, maybe. 20-foot bullet, 20 XD. I'm sure it's probably fast as the Dickens, and then a never rigged 203 like new.
a 1999.
All like new.
What you should do is put the ropes around your shed and label it as a museum and just start charging people admission.
Yeah.
Because that is
Oh darn!
Oh,
I got really excited.
it was not the trim solenoids then?
Oh no, but
trim
the yes was on the Champ. That it's a brand new hull
Oh my
that's
god.
never been rigged.
that's insane.
Oh my goodness.
How much would it take to get that?
Stop.
Oh goodness. We'll just. I literally freaking.
Okay, I think we're good now. Sorry
Yeah, I
about
think
that.
we're good now. Can you guys hear us again? Sorry about that.
We clicked the wrong X.
Yeah, we clicked the wrong button and I shut our audio software down.
So we said Andy's
There we go.
Andy's just gonna put ropes around his shed and label it as a bass boat museum.
Yes.
Because oh my god, that's like the goal. That's like every. The only thing missing is like a 521 VX, and then you pretty much have everything.
Nobody wants that.
Okay, whoa. Everyone wants. Give me 3 seconds.
Go ahead.
Andy, because you're on the show and I take your word as gospel, the 521 VX. I know it's your favorite boat, Ranger. You love it. If you had to pick one Ranger hull, would that be the one? The 521 VX. All right. Now, because we got some folks on, we got to give some love to our sponsors.
We got a lot of love we got to give to our sponsors because they are clutch. We love them, and we utilize each and every one of them. Actually, I haven't gone to East Coast IV yet, but I think we should hit up John about that.
If you have
Maybe
some
go
more of
for
these
a
blue
tour.
moons, you'll be there tomorrow morning.
But, oh yeah, that'll do it. We got a big shout out to our friends with East Coast IV. Thank you to East Coast IV for taking care of us and sponsoring some of our giveaways. We really appreciate you guys. East Coast IV is relief that comes to you, man. If you get drunk, have a rough night, you can go to them or they will come to you, give you a nice IV bag, get you feeling good again. It is also pretty good, I will say, if you're just trying to hydrate for sports, something like that. Another great thing to do. Mobile Auto Services and the Boat Pros. Thank you to them for taking care of us. John Hansen has a really good service with Mobile Auto Services. They've come to my house before. He's done some work on a tracker motor that I used to have. I think that's made by Mercury.
Yeah, great service, especially for if you work a 9 to 5 job. Like, when are you going to get to when are you going to get to the mechanic? They're open the same hours, so
Right. Yeah.
have the mechanic come to you.
Comes right to you. Thank you to Bass Munitions. We've been throwing the Bass Munitions plastics for a couple years now. We've caught many fish on them.
Yep.
Love having Mr. Larry as one of our sponsors taking care of us. Thank you so much. Definitely check out Bass Munitions Plastics, bassmunitions.com. Great plastics.
Oh, here we go. It's time for these. The time is happening for
What's
the
the time?
tailored lures. It's that time of year. It's starting.
Yes.
It is starting.
It is time for tailored lures. It is time to break out the frog boys. The grass is coming up. It's topped out in a lot of areas. The tailored lures frog is a bite-sized frog with some very, very sticky hooks. They're snakehead magnets. The bass eat them up really well. Definitely check out tailored lures. And
We don't have them
I
on
don't
here.
have the picture of them on here. I can't believe that.
But
UMA
you already know
Lure
what we're going to
Company.
say. Yep, that's
Yeah,
right.
and just while we're talking about UMA Lure Company, they are having a Memorial Day sale right now. If you check out their Facebook page, there's a discount code. I believe there's a discount code, but it's 15% off site wide. So check them out. Get yourself a discount this weekend, and get some really awesome crankbaits.
And one more. Sorry, I should have brought it up while we talked about it. But for Bass Munitions, if you want to get some soft plastics, Bass Munitions 20% off code is Bass and Beer 20, no space. Bass and Beer 20, 20% off on all your soft plastic needs. I got a worm that I really, really like. It's called the Tennessee Special. And it is badass. It's basically a little 5-inch worm with a little spoon tail on it. You can Nico rig it, you can wacky rig it, you can Texas rig it, you can shaky head it, and it does a lot of stuff. It's the Tennessee Special 5-inch worm. Make sure y'all check it out. It's really, really cool. We got a color we're working on. I've been working with Mr. Larry on for a couple months now, and it should be coming out here real soon.
Tell us a little bit about the goat pecker.
So the Goat Pecker is actually the same design as the Tennessee Special. It's just shorter. So it's a smaller profile. It's for those super finesse shaky heads and the drop shot, essentially. I have a ton of them. I haven't got a chance to throw them yet because I've been throwing the damn Tennessee Special so much because I like it.
Does he have a toad mold?
A toad?
Yeah,
I think he
like a
does.
horny toad.
We need to get on that.
I think he does. Phil says he loves the Goat Pecker.
Joe
I,
That's all you need to
I
know.
myself also love the goat pecker.
We
I
have a
must
bunch
say.
of them right in here. I'm pretty sure we got a whole
They
bag
are
full. of
in
them.
that bag right yonder.
So I want to get to Andy's comment before we get too deep in it. But Andy says, yes on the Rangers. So the 521 VX,
95.
which I wish I had. He says you got to tow the 85 Ranger pulled by the 85 square body, which would be awesome.
Yes.
But I would also be nervous. I'm either going to break down on the lake or on the way home from the lake.
I mean, the square body's not breaking down.
No, but the motor might fall off the mounts. It may just fall onto the road while you're driving home. Because
No.
we live in the rust area. That thing's going to
Take
find
care
me.
of your shit.
Come on.
Oh, wait a second. I've seen your truck. You don't take care of it.
Okay, whoa.
Hold up, hold
Say-
up, hold up.
Whoa.
I will even come to Tony's defense on this. That is a Dodge.
Yeah, it's true. That's what they do.
It also has a lot of rust on it.
Dude,
Because it's a Dodge.
after spending 17 hours on the road today in a brand new Ford 6.7 Power Stroke, and then literally getting in my smoky ass 12 valve, and like
That barely goes
you have
up
to
a hill.
like you have to turn the steering wheel a quarter turn to get any sort of movement in the wheels. I'm like, yep, this is a death trap.
You can do rolling. You can do
Does it-
rolling burnouts in a 6.7.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
My mom had a 99 Ram, and in order to drive straight, even after like alignments, everything.
Oh, you hold it. Yeah. No, it's a thing.
It's like an 8
see
turn to
his-
the right.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, we just talked about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, no.
The Chevy square body.
That's pretty. Yeah, the square body's pretty.
So my neighbor,
Dude, I was actually did an install for a guy last week that had a mint
really.
square body down there.
When I was a kid,
Mint.
my neighbor had like a Chevy C20 that had 450,000 miles on it.
Damn.
350 small block, ran forever. He still runs it. He moved down to Southern Virginia, still has it. Andy says no rust. I'm guessing this is probably Andy's truck that he's talking about. It probably goes right next to the 203 that's never been rigged. And just so we're completely clear, I am extremely jealous of your boat collection. Right now I have the 518 VX that I'm fishing tournaments out of as I move into this bullet once it's done. And I'm just like beating myself up like, oh, I don't need 2 boats. I apparently need 6.
Yeah.
I want to pull my boat with that.
Joe Leaguer's got a badass truck.
Do you know Joe?
That's awesome.
Do you know Joe?
That's sick.
I've known Joe since he was like 15.
So my dad, you met my dad once, right? Have you met my dad once?
I met your mom.
My dad did the cardinal sin of buying a 48 Ford F100 and putting a 350 small block Chevy in it
What? What's wrong with that?
He did why?
because he took the Ford body and put the small block Chevy in it. And he said he loved the truck until one day he hit the brakes and the pedal went through the floor. And he was like, I'm done with this. This is going to kill me.
What's that have to do with the small block Chevy?
Well, I think the small block Chevy's great. Don't get me wrong. I love the small. I like it more than the LS because nostalgia. But why would you ever put a Chevy in a Ford? That's like oil and water. You just don't do it.
Every fast Mustang ever.
Yeah.
Okay, whoa. Are we going to talk cars right now? Is that what's about to happen?
I have definitely seen a lot of freaking built Coyotes that are fast.
The Coyote is
I
a
meant
monster.
Fox bodies. Let's
Okay,
go
fair
to
enough.
Fox bodies only.
Fair enough. That's fair. That's fair. But I will say, I mean, like I said, if you're going to build, okay, let's say prior to LS, if you're building, the 350 is the way. Like, you're not going to build any. Like, you can build a 302 all you want,
No.
but it's going to
build a
cost.
But that was like
You can.
like
I
what
do know-
Dan's going on. When I was a kid, dude, it wasn't even about like money. I still to this day, I would love to have a nice mint square body 12 valve Cummins.
So
like just
I'm-
to go back to that square body 12 valve.
Oh, you mean a
mint
W,
condition.
a W series, like a W250 Dodge first gen?
Yeah, like a W250
Never-
Dodge first gen.
never
that
got
square
into
body stuff. My dad had one. It was an 89.
And he said, "My bad, back to boats." See, we did it. See what we did?
Oh, we got the Grand National.
So I have a
Greg's gonna get in.
I got a
in
question
here
for
now.
Andy, since Andy's
Greg had a sick Grand National.
since I'm
Greg.
like super thrilled.
Greg did?
Yeah.
So I'm like super thrilled that like Andy's on, Matt Downs from Trick Tins. Like we got a bunch of our friends on watching this tonight. But I gotta ask, since we're back on the boat subject, Andy, gun to your head right now, fastest 250 horsepower outboard on any boat. I mean, we're maybe on like an Allison or a Bullet. The fastest 250 horsepower. Is it the 4-stroke? Is it the Pro Max? Is it the 2.4 Bridgeport was not a 250, was it? I don't know. Was the Bridgeport it's 250 technically?
I love Phil.
Phil said Mercury. Yes.
Stock, yes, stock.
Yeah,
Andy.
stock. Now it could be a racing motor, but it's still
A stock motor.
right.
Yeah.
Something that's tournament legal.
And it can definitely blow up after one pool. Just watch the fastest one.
Well, those things, the Pro Maxes would spin like almost 9,000 RPMs with a flywheel. It was like ridiculous.
Those Mercury 2.5s, is that what it is?
Oh my god! Yes, they sound so good.
Dude, they sound like an F1 car.
Oh, it's unbelievable, and they almost it sounds like it's a cam 2-stroke. Like it's
Yeah.
just that. Bum, 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 bum. And he says the Mercury R.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They're very fast motors.
Is that the new one?
Uh,
Like the 4-stroke?
Yeah, I don't know. Ask him.
I don't have the experience with this, obviously, but if I had to pick a motor that I could have put on the boat I have now, if I had my choice, I would have put a show on it all day long.
I gotta pull my
I'm
buddy
a big
in.
Yamaha fan.
I gotta pull my buddy in on this because he's very. Oh shit!
what are
I
we
hit the
doing
wrong
here?
button. Jesse Stickley. See if you can pull him in. Oh, sorry, it's not
You're not
typing.
typing anything.
There you go.
Oh, you're cancel that because you're adding stuff we don't want to add.
Oh my god! It's not
Still
typing.
not typing. What did
Whiskey
you
Tango
do?
Foxtrot. There we go. Now we're typing. Okay, so SSE Stickley. STICKLEY.
That's what?
STICKLEY.
Nope.
It's so stupid. Why isn't it doing that?
Yeah, shows are.
I'll
shows
tag
are
him.
Really,
I'll tag him on my thing. So
shows are super nice.
that's not no. So I gotta ask. So nobody said the 300 horse. I know we talk about 250, right? But what about the 300 horsepower Evinrude, the big OMC that it only made for a couple years?
No,
Why? That thing was a monster. It was an absolute tank.
it's not going to be faster than a 300R though.
Maybe it is. It might be. I'm
doubt
telling you, that thing was a beast, dude.
Yeah, it was a V8 and it weighed like 900 pounds.
I gotta tag Jesse in this conversation because he will love this.
That would definitely be a heavy ass motor.
Dude,
Jim,
they put one in a car. They like some guy pulled it out and put it in a car and put expansion chambers on every cylinder. It
how the
looks
fuck do you put an outboard in a car?
I don't know.
Jim,
but
I'm
it's
a
ridiculous.
big fan of the show on the Skeeters.
He's just commenting. I don't know shit. That's what Phil says.
Andy said for a short run, a worked Bridgeport is unbeatable.
What's a Bridgeport?
They were the 2.4 Bridgeport.
Is that Mercury? Like
As long as it was worked by the right
okay,
person.
okay, all right.
But apparently he said short run because
They were gonna
it's not going to last.
Get one of those. Get one of those and send it to Andy, and then put it
So-
on your bullet.
Phil said it sounds like a
money. I don't have enough money for
Phil said it sounds like a SIG company, and that just reminded me of something funny. Have you seen the forward-facing sonar pointers?
Anybody need a beer?
I'm good.
Might as well.
You know what I'm talking about? Like it'll just be a pointer that's on your trolling motor that just sticks out, so
Yeah.
that like you can see where.
Yep.
So Seth Fighter posted a picture of his today.
It's a cigarette.
It's a freaking lit cigarette, and it's the coolest thing in the world.
No. It's not the pointer. It's the stand that holds it up.
No, that's the pointer for LiveScope.
Is it really?
Yeah.
No shit.
It's
I thought it was the stand that held the.
No, that's
motor.
it. That's his pointer for LiveScope. It's a lit cigarette.
That is hilarious.
Oh, wait, whose is it?
Seth Fighter.
No way.
It's wrapped.
That's awesome.
The pointer's wrapped. It got like a little like wrap around it, and it looks just like a lit Marlboro.
That's fantastic. Dude, he's a fiend when it comes to that stuff.
He
He's an absolute fiend, and I'm here
he
for it.
he will burn through some
I'm
Marlboros.
reaching out to Seth and Matt Robertson tomorrow.
Oh my god, those two guys they're nuts. Seth's not nearly as nuts as Matt is. Matt's crazy.
No, but
Seth's
Seth is
just,
still hilarious.
yeah, Seth's just like weirdly funny.
Exactly. I do like Jordan.
I do like Jordan Lee. I found it really funny that an Elite Series angler won an MLF event. That makes me
right.
That makes me laugh a little bit inside.
So I guess since we're on the concept of motors, what was the real difference between the Mariner Super Magnum, which was like the Pro Max, and the Mercury Pro Max? Is it the same thing with a gray cowling? Because I don't know anything about Mariners.
I thought the Mariner was the saltwater motor, like the saltwater.
So I saw somebody was selling a Gambler
Hey, what's up, Bunky?
in
Thanks for joining,
like
brother.
Northern Virginia. It was I think it was a 209. It had a 2.5 Super Magnum. It basically looked just like a Pro Max, but it was a Mariner motor with the red lettering. And the guy was he was just selling a motor because I think the transom was bad. I thought about buying it, and then I was like, you know what? No, I'm not doing that. Should have bought
I'm
it.
pretty sure it's the same motor.
That's what I
It's
thought.
with
I
a
thought it
gray
was like
cowling.
the GT Johnson and the XP Evinrude were like the same thing. I thought it was kind of the same deal with Mercury and Mariner, but I
Yeah,
thought there
I'm
was
pretty sure
something different about Mariner.
Pretty sure it's just the same. I mean, it was a good motor. Frank's Champion had one on it, and Gary. I mean, that motor's still burning great to this day.
What's he have on his Charger? It's a 250 Mercury, right?
Yeah, 4-stroke.
Okay.
He had a 2-stroke mark on it when he bought it.
And did it trade it in or did he blow it up?
He traded it in.
Oh, okay.
He was having some motor issues, and he just got tired of having motor issues and bought a new motor.
Hey, what's up, Little John? Thanks for joining, brother. We were talking about you and your dad out there doing the boat races at Tiki Lee's last year. Pete is asking, what about the Suzuki motors? What's the opinion on the Suzukis? And
They last
They're
forever.
great.
I don't run any Suzukis. It seems like more of like a Shoreman type motor or something.
Well, that's all you need to know right there, though. That's all you need to know.
It starts turnkey every single time.
If the guys that make
It
a living
doesn't
with the
have the
boat
same
use it, it must be
performance.
good.
I think
Yeah, it just doesn't have the same performance.
when we had Andy on, he spoke
Yeah.
very highly of Suzuki.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think if you just mess with them enough, you can make them just as fast as everything else. You know,
It's just I think like Andy, if I remember right, Andy said that it's just a matter of getting them propped right.
yeah, and you know they could
and
probably
getting the prop worked correctly for the motor because it is so different.
and they could probably make a smaller lower to get a little bit more out of it. You know, kind of like Evinrude did with the Lightning. If you've ever owned a Lightning like me, you know the struggle. But it was fast. It was a
Wait, so
fast
what
lower.
about Suzuki is gutless? He says it's a guide motor and it's affordable. Yeah, I'm okay. So it's gutless. It's got no balls.
I don't know that it
gets
doesn't.
like-
I mean, I've never been in
It's,
one.
they're
so.
it's from what, and I'm going by what Andy Hauser told us when he was on the show.
There is guys that run them.
It's just a matter of getting the right prop worked out for them, and they'll be fine. I mean, I know Greg DePalma's running a Suzuki this year on his Basscat. Or I'm sorry, Greg, not a
Phoenix.
Basscat, it's a Phoenix, and I knew that. I
When
don't
did
know why I
that?
said
When did that
Basscat.
start?
What?
When did that start?
What?
The Phoenix thing. Has he always had Phoenix?
Yeah, he's had Phoenix
Okay.
for a long time.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I was for some reason I was thinking like I had Ike. I was saying Greg DePalma and had Ike in my head. I don't know why that. Sorry, Greg. I'm sorry, Greg. I just saw Greg on Saturday too. And Greg actually helped me out with my trolling motor a little bit. So
Oh, that's cool.
I really appreciate that. I've known Greg for a long time. Greg's a cool dude. Anyway, Greg he went with Suzuki this year, and he loves it. I mean, he loves that Suzuki.
Well, like I said, they don't even have a tent. The new Stealth motor is their first bass boat. Ooh, that's cool.
Okay, so a little hint right there from Andy's got a video coming out soon on the new
So I think
stealth motor from Suzuki.
as far as Suzuki's go, there's a handful of guys that run them on the Elite Series. I think it really
Brandon,
Does Polnick run one?
Brandon Card.
yeah,
Yes.
Brandon Card runs.
Didn't
one.
Zach
Yeah,
Burge
Card.
run one for a while, or does he still run
I
it?
don't know. I don't follow MLF. Brandon Card runs a Suzuki. Andy Morgan runs a Suzuki on his Bullet. But so there's a handful of guys in the Elite Series, and Chad Pipkins runs a Suzuki as well.
One
And
of the best
I love
guys,
Chad. I love Chad Pipkins, and he's a super nice guy.
Pippers.
So these handful of guys, there's no Mercury, or, like Mercury. They have mechanics on site every Elite Series tournament.
There's no
Yamaha,
Suzuki
Elite-
Mercury.
There's no Suzuki, and none of them have ever been down.
That's pretty awesome. I love that. I'm a huge like that. That's a selling. Like to me, sold. Like just sold.
Phil says
But-
Zach's a Merc. He used to be Suzuki.
But now that I have a Bullet, it has to be the fast motor, which means I'm getting a Pro Max.
I mean,
Just
to be
put
fair,
a show on it, dude. Put a show 250 on it and flash it.
But I want to fish sanctioned tournaments at some point. Eventually, one day I'm going to fish a BASS tournament.
Are you going
Like,
pro?
No, but I wanted to do the nation tour. The
if
nation
he
opens
can't
this
fish
year.
the nation tournaments if he has motor
Yeah.
modifications. So
I wanted
just,
to do
like
those.
fishing like if he wanted to go to like if he fished the SQTs and like I'm fishing the state championship in September, that qualifies you to go to the Bassmaster National Championship.
You couldn't fish it
You couldn't fish it.
Yeah.
Not out of your boat. Which
unless
is
I just
pretty-
have a regular 250 on it.
which is not super difficult to make, and you have a chance of making the Bassmaster Classic. It's easier to make it to the championship now. It's much harder to qualify.
That's why I'm like
for the class.
That's why I'm like kind of PO'd. And again, it's nobody's fault, but like every year when they release the SQT schedule, I always watch it because I'm like, maybe this is the year I can fish them, and I never get to fish them because my drill schedule in the National Guard, it just doesn't work, and it sucks because and I'm not trying to brag because you guys know I'm not even the best. I'm nowhere near.
Dude, those guys are hammers.
But I think I
mean,
could compete.
straight hammers.
I think I could compete for the fucking team, for the state team.
Those guys are hammers.
Sure. No, I agree. But
Let me-
I
let
think
me
I can
reiterate.
compete
Tony's a hammer.
Hammers.
Hammer.
sometimes.
Hammer. At times. And Thursday nighters.
I've had days.
Shit, last year I
Some
was
of
the
the
top
guy-
3 award winner.
So some of the
Not the winner, dude. Top 3.
with some of the
Just
guys
annoying.
that fish like the SQTs, I've had days where like I just could not buy a bite on the Potomac, and like 3 guys come in with 20 pounds.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like it's insane how good some of those guys are.
Bro, my RM 125 is a freaking missile. Not to get off topic, but my Suzuki RM 125 is freaking mint. That's a nice ass bike. Actually, it's not mint. I totally take that back.
It's guys like
But it's really nice and it runs great.
like
Calls the mail.
Mike Roselle. Mike Roselle's just
Is it the,
he's
the
a
Ranger
hammer.
Ranger mic, right?
Yeah, Ranger with Ever
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
G2.
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
Just absolute hammer. Tom Bateman, hammer.
Yeah, Tom's a good fisherman. Real good fisherman.
Ed Riley, been around forever, hammer.
Yep.
Michael Duarte, hammer.
Trishman
Wins
wins tournaments.
hammer.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, John Jedry's in there too. John Jedry will surprise you. I mean, not that he's not just as good as everyone else, but John, I've seen. I mean, John caught that 25-pound bag on the flats solo a couple of years ago.
26.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, Phil
And
says
I caught
dog.
I
He
caught
says
one of
dog.
his. I caught one of his retrends the week after.
What in tidings?
I caught a 7-pounder in Tidings.
That's awesome.
Fishing a Bass Legends tournament.
That's fantastic.
We stopped in Tidings on the way through. We were going to the ABC docks from Swan.
So Andy says that the
Stopped and fished.
Suzuki. Andy says that
7-pounder.
the Suzuki is a very detuned motor.
Whoa!
I could see that. I could see that. We just got a bunch of comments on the right and it like flashed. So
Andy
Andy,
must have scrolled up.
my question for you is: so when I was talking to the fellows up at JCS today, talking about potentially repowering, so it's a 21 XDC. I'm basically refurbishing the whole boat at this point.
Wait, does Scuba Steve have a Gixxer?
No. Who said that?
Oh. So we're basically refurbishing the whole boat at this point,
John
and eventually it's going to get a 250. If it was yours, right? And money was an option, not like a completely limiting factor, but would you put a 250 Pro XS 2-stroke on it or a 250 4-stroke on it, and why? Because
Hey.
the guys up at the shop were like, you can probably
Rob,
get a
you
lot of
fishing-
life out of a 2-stroke.
You fishing tomorrow, Rob?
So
We got Rob Steiner in the house. Rob took third in the SummerSlam last weekend,
Yeah.
which is crazy. Like, that is freaking awesome. With 22
No.
22 and change?
No, they had 21.
21.
Was it 21
Yeah.
for third? Frank had 23?
Frank and Dave had 22.35, and the winners had 22.63.
Who won it?
But yeah, Rob,
I don't know who they were. I've never seen them before.
Really?
Rob
I mean,
took,
good for them.
Rob took third place. Good to see you up here, man. Good fishing last week.
Rob and Rick, don't forget Rick.
I'm sorry. So
Also,
many,
Rick-
so many people.
Rick caught a 20-pound snakehead today.
I saw that. That's pretty awesome. And
What
Andy,
two-stroke
yes, a 2-stroke Pro XS, like a
Like
you
a
know,
newer.
s-
Like
yeah,
a
16,
2016,
16 to
17, something like
18, low hours. Just because, I don't know.
You can get it cheap because
I
everybody
could get
wants
it
4
cheaper
strokes.
than the 4-stroke. I was originally thinking the 250R 4-stroke, but after the guys at the shop told me it's a
$40,000.
$10,000 difference, I was like, yeah, I don't think so.
Now, what is the difference in the motor? Is it like different heads on it or something? Like,
Different mounts and porting. So it's just a more aggressive tune, essentially.
It's just the tune.
It's more than that, but without getting, I don't know the details of it.
See, that's
I'm
why I
sure
said, like,
Andy
you
could tell
probably
us.
just do. Yeah, I'm sure Andy could definitely tell us. But like, that's why I'm saying, like, why not just do like a show and then, the flash. That's right. You want to fish sanctioned.
So that's the
stuff,
thing
so you
is
can't flash
the
it.
fastest motor I could get to fish sanctioned tournaments is the 250R. If I put the 250R on the bullet, it's
Just
a 90 mile an hour
Put a
boat.
Mercury 2.5 on it.
I could, but
I thought I was gonna see you tomorrow, Rob.
hard to find.
But that's I know you. I know your boys are really into baseball, and so
I feel like your boat, that boat with a
pretty
2.5
cool.
on it, would be ridiculous. That'd be very sick.
I am not fishing the Ike, by the way, Rob.
I'm gonna talk to Buckland and see if we're gonna fish it. I think we talked about it, but I didn't know it was next weekend. I would like to fish it. I would like to fish it.
It's fun. I've enjoyed it. I've fished a few times.
What's
it's
it?
fun.
It's 300 entry fee, right?
I think so. Yeah.
That's not bad. It's 150 a guy. It's too
Yeah.
easy.
I mean,
Phil
it's
says-
not that bad.
I hear the migrants are going to start fishing the flats and taking all the fish.
They have a lot of work to do.
You
Because
know what?
there's a
I
lot
gotta
of fish out
say,
there.
as far as like, and this is one conversation I actually really want to have with somebody, particularly Oliver Nye. I would like to talk to Oliver Nye. But Oliver Nye has been very hot on the harvesting bass recently to create more
Okay.
healthy bass population, larger fish, not so much numbers as quality, and harvesting smaller bass has a lot to do with it because of competition for food, real estate, mating, yada 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 yada.
Sure. Yeah, no, makes sense.
So I would really
Supply
love to
and
dig
demand.
more into that.
I think, and I don't know the numbers. I think we can stop stocking Joppatown. I say that very cautiously.
So
I think we can stop stocking
I,
Joppatown
I,
at this
I
point.
agree. I agree.
At
I
this
think
point.
so. I did. I can't remember where I saw it,
Yeah, Adam.
but
Right?
somebody was talking about tournament mortality. And this goes more to do with tournament mortality, but it kind of goes along with that, with what
Right.
you're talking about as well.
That was Aldane.
Was it somebody that was on Zaldine's?
I think it was Chris. Chris was talking to somebody about tournament mortality.
Because basically, like, if you look at like the age of the fish, like theoretically you have a 50% natural mortality per year is what you need.
I thought it was 30, but
50%.
you're right. Yeah,
It's
something in that
so
range.
50%
Yeah.
is what needs to happen for a healthy fishery. So going along with you, I mean, it's not really going to hurt, if there's, but it's really hard to track as well. How many fish are actually being kept,
Right.
because we don't see that. We have tournament results where we can see how many fish are caught in a tournament, but we can't. Nobody is reporting. How many largemouth they caught when they were fishing in the Susquehanna River and
Right.
or smallmouth that they took home to eat. people just don't report that. They catch a fish, they take it home and eat it. Like, and I have zero issues with anybody keeping fish as long as you're doing it legally.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I agree
I've
for
got
the
no-
The law is there for a
It
reason.
does hurt when I see somebody scoop a 5-pounder into their cooler, though. I'm like, no.
I've seen it happen on
does.
Conowingo.
It
I saw it.
happens.
But like,
Yeah.
they were saying on that when they were saying on Zaldine's podcast, like that fish was only going to be around for another year or two anyway.
Yeah, true.
I can guarantee you a 9-year-old Amish boy would outfish me.
Dude, I have a funny story. I have a very funny story about that. I really do. Andy says he needs our shirt sizes. Yep, we'll send it to Andy. I'll email it to the website or
250 XS, not a Pro XS.
I saw that too.
Did you ship the shirts out yet?
Andy should have our shirt. Me and
Okay, I
Rob
was gonna
sent
say,
it a couple weeks
Andy,
ago.
Andy, did you get the shirt?
I think he's mentioned earlier that he got it. I think.
Okay,
I
I
thought I
just
saw
wanna-
that, but I could be wrong. Yes, we do need to get the shirt sizes.
I still have to send my two to
I thought you
Warren.
sent that. I thought you sent the shirt sizes with the.
I forgot.
I still have to send my shirts to Warren and Tyler.
forgot.
I haven't done it.
Oh, he has not
forgot.
gotten it.
Oh, he is not. Okay.
Oh.
Interesting.
Andy, we sent it to the Team Marine Service address. Like when I googled the shop address, that's where we sent it. We sent it.
It's probably hiding in his shop somewhere. Somebody just like chucked it in.
It could be because we sent it probably
There's
3 weeks ago.
There's probably a 250 resting on top of it.
Yeah, somebody's using it for a shop rag.
But yeah, we sent it out. We sent it out about 2, maybe 3 weeks ago. It could have got lost, but we sent it to the shop address. So it might be there. Hopefully it is. You know what? It's underneath all the Evan Rude thank you letters that Evan Rude sent them after the ghost video, which I still think's the best thing
That
ever.
shirt came in and was like, look, Andy got us some oil rags.
Dude, when I'm having a bad day, I put on the initial like video when Andy's reading the thing from the ghost, and he's just like, "What is this? What is this garbage?" And I just laugh my ass off. Especially the part where he's like, "Oh, it's just like what a Beavis and Butthead designed this thing," and I'm like, "Yeah, pretty much." Oh my god, it's awesome. But
Well, if you don't get it within the next
We'll
week
send
or
you
so,
another
or
one.
find it laying in the shop, we'll get you another one out.
We might just send you another one anyway.
yeah, right. But
Yeah.
but yeah, so
Then you
all
can
right.
have two shop rags.
So the 300 XS, I'm gonna have to try to find that. But yeah, we're gonna get on the website too for sure and get some shirts from you. I mean, I love mine. Mine's sick. I wear it all
That's
the
a
time.
really nice shirt. I like it.
I wore it as soon as I pulled up the JCS. John was like, "Oh, nice shirt." I'm like, "I know." Like me and Andy are boys now. Not really, but I'm like a fan, so it's kind of cool. But anyway, so what were we talking about before we got on the subject of shirts again? Talking about the 2-stroke Merc. What else? There was something else. What were we were just talking about it. I kind of lost my train of thought.
You said something about a 300. Hey,
Oh,
what's
yeah.
up? What's up, Matthew? Or Mateo? Matt? Good to see you, man. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, you said something about the 300.
Get on the website and pick the one we want.
Yes.
As far as
Shirts.
shirts. Okay.
Yeah.
Cocaine and hookers. All
Come on.
right.
Somebody's talking now.
Florida man activities.
That's
It's funny because Jim's
Yeah,
from Florida.
right. Yeah,
That's awesome.
boats and hose, baby.
About to
Boats
look
and
at some-
hose.
About to look at some Team Marine shirts.
Okay, come on. Let me see them.
So,
Oh,
but
that is not the right Team Marine.
Is this Andy? Is
it's
this
Team
it?
Marine Service. You forgot
Andy,
the service part.
Is this Team Marine Service?
No, I don't know what that is. That's some garbage. Garbage.
It looks like it's a mission group that might.
It
travel
sounds
to
a lot
Africa
less
and help
fun.
people.
I mean, it's great, but it's a lot less fun.
Oh, you should definitely sign up for Team Marine and go over to Africa and help build a
I want
small
I
mud
want-
village or something.
I want this shirt, Andy.
Oh my gosh,
Only on Friday.
that's awesome. You're gonna have to change the slogan from "Speed Money No Breaks" to "Speed Money No Breaks"
You know, we
Sunday
need
through
to
Thursday.
Do that. Hold up. We need to do that. We need to schedule a time to go down to Florida and get with our friend Mr. Jim Fallon down in
We
Florida. On
absolutely
Headwaters.
we do.
We definitely need to
We
do
should
that.
spend a whole week there, and we should fish Headwaters. We should fish Stick Marsh. We
Yeah.
should fish
We got to do it.
3 Forks, Triple Forks, wherever the hell
I
it's
have
called.
I have a very serious thing. for Mr. Andy. Can we all get the USA Team Marine shirts?
Let me see it. That looks amazing.
That's pretty sick.
That looks awesome.
We found the one we want.
Right?
Sure.
It was the first one I looked at.
I'm sure there's other cool ones.
I like the hats, the beanies. Andy, it seems like it's always.
I did see the 10 you got. It was on the 9-inch, wasn't it? The
Yeah,
the
it's
8 or
awesome.
the 8 or the 9
Actually-
inch trick shed.
I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, so I might have to have this one. This
insane.
shirt's awesome.
Oh, it's got the force on the pallet.
May the Force outboards be with you.
Oh my god, dude, the force, the force. I love those videos. You know what's funny? I watched that
That's
video
great.
that they
That's
dropped
amazing.
about how horrible the force was, and I went to Joppatown like a week later, and I saw a guy out in the middle of the canal with the cowling off, and it said force on it, and he could not get it to start. And I felt bad for laughing at the man because I've been there. We've all been there. But I was like, dude, this is poetic justice because. Yeah, like I think it was a Bayliner bass boat too, which is just why would you even have that? The best thing you should do is
Bayliner bass boat?
you should just donate that thing to like a.
have that?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's the
It
worst.
was like made in like 89.
That guy should just donate that thing to like the
that's what your-
paintball
I
place
feel like
on
that's
Route
what
40.
your uncle would be in.
They have these really
Okay,
weird.
he's not that bad.
So it's funny. They have this really like they're really funny shaped. They have these like really
horrible.
high gunnels.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're terrible.
They're crazy.
So like the bet if you are the man watching us that has the Bayliner bass boat, I'm not trying to insult you, but do us all a favor and donate that to the Route 40 paintball facility.
Or burn it.
This is when pink and blue sink that shit.
Nice.
What's that mean?
That was the logos on the force. They had like the paint.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, I got you.
Yeah, they are awful. And I think Mercury made it too, which is even weirder. I thought Mercury was like the parent brand of Force, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm thinking.
I could be wrong though. I thought it was, or was it Chrysler?
I think it was. Chrysler.
Was it Chrysler? I think it might have been Chrysler.
That makes
Joe, if you want to know what the best broadhead for snakehead is, you need to ask Jake Tyler.
Well-
let me tag him.
First of all, how do you know somebody's trolling? You don't use broadheads for bow fishing.
You don't?
No.
Okay. Shows you how much bow fishing
I
I've
didn't
been
know
doing.
that. I didn't know that.
I wonder. Jason has been on a quite the banning streak on his snakehead page because of asshole bow fishermen being assholes.
Nice. So Andy said it was Chrysler. So I actually have a 17-foot Starcraft sitting in my lawn. That was my grandfather's boat.
Miles, you're going to pay for us to go fish at Headwaters with
Yes.
Jim Fallon, and he's going to put us on 10-pounders with
You
big
can
glide baits.
You can come with us, but you can only watch. You
Sounds
can't.
like fun.
You have to sit in the corner and watch.
You have to chauffeur me in my boat.
But
Miles, you can fish off my boat any day.
yeah. So my grandfather has a 17-foot Starcraft. I mean, God rest his soul, he's not with us anymore. But it's sitting in my lawn, and it's the only thing it's good for now is wasp nests. But it's got a 115 Chrysler on it, and I started it in like 2016, and that's the last time that motor's even been cranked. I tried to trim it up, and the trim motor caught on fire, like legitimately. I was like, "What is that?" No, I literally hit the trim motor, and I heard this like a, and I was like, "What is that?" Oh, it's on fire. Great. And it's electrical fire, so when you pour water on it, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it's not. You normally don't use water for those.
Yeah. So
If you use enough of it.
Andy's out for the weekend. Andy, thank you, sir, for joining us. Always welcome. We appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so
Andy.
much.
Have a
Great to
great
have
weekend.
you.
Can't wait for your next videos. Join us again soon. And for those of you that are watching, Andy Hauser is the man behind the madness when it comes to Team Marine Service on YouTube. You got to check him out. We had him on the show about a month ago at this point, but Team Marine Service is a amazing YouTube channel. They're very, very informative and very funny. So
Oh,
Andy-
hilarious.
check them out. Please
Andy
check
is
them out.
basically setting the standard in the marine industry right now.
I love
It is
Andy's videos.
fantastic. So,
Yep.
Andy cracks
thanks
me
for
up
joining
all the
us,
time.
Andy.
Miles's pockets are dry.
He's been going on too many vacations.
Hey, Miles, you want to go up to the lake tomorrow?
Ooh.
Because Paul yelled at me for wanting to fish the flats during a tournament, so I might go up.
I
on
didn't
the
yell
lake.
at you for wanting to fish the flats. I yelled at you for wanting to go out and just mark grass edges, which means you were just going to idle around and look for them in between everyone fishing, which is a dick move.
It is kind of a dick move, but only because there's going to be 5,000 people out there.
No,
Which sucks.
There's going to be like 100. And Miles is fishing tomorrow. He's fishing in Chesapeake
That's
County.
right. He's fishing with Tom. That's right. I might go up on the lake, honestly.
Jason heard Miles has 6 live scopes on his boat. That is not true, Jason. It's actually 7.
Nice. So, does anybody have the NB? What is it? The NBT screen?
NBT.
Does
I
anybody
don't know.
have that?
I haven't talked to anybody around here that has one, but that thing is bad.
What's your opinion on it? Is it excessive? Is it too much? Or is it?
Oh.
Is it? Do you need it? Do you have to have it?
If it wouldn't cost me like $6,000 to put one on my boat because I'd have to change my Garmin unit, so I'd have to get a new Garmin unit and that screen. There would be one on my boat.
Miles said Herb got it.
Oh, Herb's got one.
Well, that
Oh,
means
cool.
nobody else is winning a tournament this year up
It's
there.
It's just a bigger screen for your live scope. It's not like it does anything different.
That's pretty cool, though. I saw. So there's a.
Does he have the 19 or the 22?
Okay, I was gonna ask. Is it 19 and 22? I thought it was 16, but I guess it's 19.
I think it's 19 and 22.
That's ridiculous. So he already has 3 screens up front. So did he get rid of a screen, or is it just like where is? I want to see it. Where is it?
Well, he probably got rid of the screen because he got rid of his 360.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he
I
told me
didn't
he
know
was
that.
getting rid of it. He told me he was getting rid of his 360.
Is he still guiding up there?
I'm not sure.
I was gonna go up there and just get all the spots.
Just follow him around on guide trips.
No, I was just gonna pay the guy. I was at least gonna pay him for it. I mean, come on.
We'll pay you for a guide trip. You just get your phone out going click,
Oh,
click.
but he's got to know, right? He's got to know that, like, if you guide, people are going to be here fishing tournaments. Like, it is what. I mean, is that okay? Let's have that conversation. Is that a dick move? If I pay a guide on
Local guide.
okay, we're going to talk about Herb because that's who we're talking. I love Herb. If I pay
a
Herb,
local guy. Yeah,
Sure.
a local guy.
if I pay
Herb, Harry,
who is a local guide on Conowingo, right? Not that I'm not even going to get into that.
anybody at water.
If-
JCS, have a good one, fellas. We hope to see you here very soon.
Yep. Thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate it. If I pay Herb to take me out on Conowingo and show me shit, spots, what he looks for on whatever, am I a dick for going to the same spots in a tournament?
You're not a dick to him. You're a dick to the other tournament anglers.
But
that
they
make
had the
sense?
same opportunity to take a guided trip.
But you're still paying for information. And paying for information is fucked up.
Okay. I agree, but I'm going to be devil's advocate. Does it say that in the rules?
Depends on what rules you're looking at.
The Conowingo Bass Opens.
Like I said, it depends on, until you get to like a higher end level. No, it's not against the rules, but there's a lot of things that aren't against the
Still
rules.
very
that I don't
frowned
like.
upon. I mean,
Right.
I definitely probably wouldn't do that.
Well, I'm not going to. I'm just, for the
It's-
sake of the conversation, right? Like
Are you like
I know, like people, like
a guy?
people do
A guy
that,
knows
though.
that people are gonna, if he takes somebody out, they're gonna go out and fish those spots that he took. Most guides won't take you to good shit. They'll take you to
Fishtips.com.
places-
Fishtips.com.
They'll take you to places where you can catch a lot of fish, like because that's their job as a guide, like
Right.
to put you on fish.
Right.
So they're gonna take. Most guides are gonna take you to places where you can catch a lot
Okay,
of
so
fish.
hold up. I should tag Austin Neary in this.
Oh, let's not get into that. It's a good thing I have to leave in 9 minutes.
Yeah, that would be a very
Eventful episode. Fireworks.
Paying for information, to me, takes away. And Austin, I've heard Austin talk, and like I do understand what he's like. I understand what he's
I see it too.
like
Yeah,
the
I get
idea
it.
behind it. But I also know people, and his ideology that he's using for this is the pristine, perfect scenario for it. It doesn't account for the bad that comes from it. And for him, no, like I get it. Like he doesn't care. I care because I know that there are
See you,
people,
Miles.
there are unscrupulous people out there that are going to, they're going to pay for that information, or maybe it's, it's same, it's just like paying for a guide. You know, somebody who's trying to make it on their own and they're fishing, say, you know, maybe they're fishing the Opens or the Toyota Series or something like that. And, you know, they're out there busting their ass.
That I agree with. I do agree with that.
They're out there busting their ass to, you know, to try to figure it out and make it on their own. And, you know, then they get beat by a guy who bought a bunch of waypoints.
I agree. Like I said, this is just conversation. I think it's a good conversation. Now, okay.
I'll see you tomorrow, Miles.
How is that different? And again, devil's advocate here. How is that different than going to a Bass Live seminar? Because you're still paying for information.
Because you're
That
not,
is confirmed, Jason.
you're not getting you're not getting specific information on the specific body of water that you're fishing.
Okay.
You're learning basics. You're learning how to break down various bodies of water no matter where you are. You're learning about new techniques. You're learning about that. Getting very, very specific, detailed information on a body of water that you're fishing a tournament on is bullshit. And in the long run,
I mean,
it's
I'm not
just gonna
saying I
bite you.
disagree.
Like,
I don't disagree. I think it's interesting. I think it's an interesting conversation because it's like the flats, right? It's okay to pull up on a grass flat when there's 30 boats on it. Is it okay when there's 5? Is it okay to pay for information when it's on Herb's boat as a guide versus Bass Live? And like, as somebody like I play devil's advocate because I think it makes good conversation, but it's like, where's the cutoff? Sorry, I kicked the light. Where's the cutoff? Like, it's okay to pull up on, like, we all fished the grass last Sunday. There's 100 boats out there. No one's going to say anything if you pull up on the grass and there's 200 boats in it. But if you pull up on the grass and there's 4 boats in it, people might say something. So where does it become okay? And where does it become not okay?
I'll put it this way. As far as I'm concerned, if you're within 100 yards of me, that's not okay.
I agree. Yeah, no, 100%.
Anyone.
Wait, on
Sure.
a grass flat?
Yes. If you're within 100 yards, you're too close.
Yes.
I think that's shitty.
Agreed.
Nah,
If I'm sitting by my-
if
if
I
I'm
can
sitting-
cast my line and our lines can cross, we're too close.
Which is, if you think of that, that's 80. That's about 80 yards.
Yeah, that's
I would say
Yeah, 100. You can catch
60
100.
to 80 yards.
Right. So if you're close, for that matter, we shouldn't be able to touch. There should be some space in between us.
yes.
Like if I cast as far as I can, you cast as far as you can. There should still be some space between us.
Agreed,
That's why
yes.
I say 100 yards. I will very rarely move in closer to somebody. Like casting distance away from somebody unless I'm just going around them to go somewhere else. I'll stop fishing if I get close to somebody.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Because and this is really a very localized issue. You don't see this in a lot of other areas of the country. You don't see it in a lot of other areas.
It doesn't not. You don't even see it on Conowingo.
You don't see it on the
I
shore.
feel like we fish so small around here though, where other places have like
It's
these
literally
huge lakes.
the Upper Bay, Conowingo, and like Okeechobee.
It's not that a fish is small. It's that people, and I've heard this at the boat ramp, people will literally not even freaking practice for a tournament and just go out the day of the tournament and look where the boats are.
Yeah,
And they'll just pull up.
absolutely.
And that's how you end
100%.
up. And that's how you end up with 100 boats in the middle ditch.
And you know what? And that sucks because, like, you know, I'm sure you have 1,000 waypoints in that area, and as do I. And I feel like I have waypoints over on that area for the last 4 years, and I feel like a piece of shit when there's 80 boats on it and I pull up because I think that's what I think when I'm out there and there's 80 boats, right? And I see somebody pull up, the first thing that comes to my head is like, oh, saw all the boats. But that was me 20 minutes ago. Even though I'm going directly to a waypoint, it's like
But it's one thing, like, if you pull up and you go to a specific spot, like, you know that you can tell when somebody's going to a specific spot.
yeah, oh,
right?
absolutely.
Versus
Absolutely.
the person who comes up and just starts milling around in all the boats.
Right.
You
I
can
mean,
tell, you can tell
yeah.
very, very
Yeah.
specifically the guys who are just out there looking for, that are just came out and looking for the boats. They have no idea what they're trying to fish, what they're doing, and you'll see them. They'll they'll be milling around in between the boats, and they're moving all around.
Right.
And
Usually, like, if I pull up in an area where there's a lot of boats, I find the least concentrated area and go straight to it. Like, even if I have a waypoint, like if I have a waypoint and there's 5 boats in the area,
yes, they do, Joe.
literally find the area, even if it's not directly on my waypoint where there's no boats, and just fish that because I hate that shit. Like,
Oh, like Phil just said, the bent rod technique. You want to see something funny? Go out in the middle of that crowd and catch a fish and watch how many boats get
Dude,
within like.
I have a
50
story
yards.
about
Right
that.
towards you.
I have a story about that.
We have a story about that.
Well, yes. Last Saturday, fishing the club tournament with Chad. We're out there. We're fishing the grass.
different Chad.
I have 3 fish in the box.
Your story is not nearly as bad as you see it out on the flats,
Oh, dude.
because it will
Yeah.
be so. Go ahead, finish your story. I'll tell.
So we're
I'll
out
tell
there, and I'm throwing a worm. I'll say that, right? Because it wasn't something that was showed to me. It was something that was showed to me, and I'm not going to give it up.
one. Right. Yeah. No,
Throwing a worm.
we don't have to give information.
Right.
You were
Sure.
fishing.
I'm fishing a worm.
Bass
And
musicians.
I've been in this area for an hour, maybe 2 hours. And I set the hook, good one, my biggest fish of the day, probably 3 3/4. Nothing crazy. I had like 13 pounds on Saturday, so it wasn't anything ridiculous. But you know how it is when you're out on the grass throwing a worm. What do you hear? Whoosh. Everyone that's throwing a worm, you can fucking hear it, right? So another boat.
My worms don't make that noise.
Another boat was not too close to us, but close to us. You know, just normal flats fishing. The guy in the front caught about a 5-pounder. And as he put the fish in the box, I heard him say the bait he was fishing, which I watched him rig up, and it was the same fucking worm that I had been throwing for about an hour with the poles down and had just caught a 4-pounder on. And Buckland looks at me and goes, you just caught that fish for that guy. And I said, I know, shut up. Because now I'm kind of
But
pissed.
that's gonna.
But it happens.
That's gonna
right?
happen.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree. I
No
completely
lie.
agree with
Like
you.
if you're out there and you're 7,500 yards away from somebody, you know they're throwing a buzzbait,
Right.
And you know they're smashing them. Am I not gonna pick up a buzzbait?
Right.
Like,
But it just like it killed because I heard him say the name of the bait and I was like, "Are you serious?"
so
Like
to tell you
the bait.
how bad it is out there. Me
Name
and Frank
for
were,
like brand for brand.
me and Frank
Yes. Yes.
me and Frank were fishing
Yes.
a tournament a couple years ago. We were in in some grass. We were in a very very big grass bed. There were 3 boats where we were. And we were spread. We were pretty spread out. Reasonable distance apart. 75. Not even within talking distance of each other. It was me and Frank, Dave Wilder, and Victor. Like, we're the only 3 boats out there. All the other boats are like 300 yards away, and like in that cluster, in that cluster fuck that they're always in.
Sure. Oh yeah, all the time.
I catch a fish, put it in a live well. Catch another fish, another 4-pounder. Putting it, I got a call, right? So by the time I'm done culling, there's 30 boats within 50 yards of us.
Yep.
Like, not even kidding.
It's horrible. It's
30
horrible.
boats were within 50 yards of us.
It's horrible. I hate it.
They were
Hey,
300
what's up?
yards away.
What's up,
Yep.
Patrick? Thanks for joining us, man.
That's why I hate. That's why me and Buckland made a run on Saturday. I was like, dude, screw this. I don't want to do this.
It's insane how people will just. I mean, as soon as you catch a fish, like, they'll just suck right into your area.
Last 2 years ago.
find your own damn. Exactly. Yes, Jim.
2 years ago, I was fishing a tournament.
Guys
and I
follow
was-
guides around, hit waypoints, race out
Yep.
all their spots the next morning because they're too lazy to find their own fish.
I was fishing the back channel 2 years ago. It was that tournament where me and you were on the back channel and I caught a 5-pounder,
Yes.
like right in front of you. And after I caught that fish, there was a guy in a Ranger, like probably 50 yards from me. And he goes, that guy's throwing an orange chatterbait. And both of them started throwing orange and they caught each of them probably caught 2 or 3. And I ended up with 4 fish. And I never saw another fish caught on that flat the whole day. But I literally caught 2.
I was catching.
Well, Paul was, but you were throwing it. Well, I won't tell you. I remember what you were throwing that day.
I was throwing a red crankbait.
Yes, it's kind of crazy. That was
In
like
the
3
grass.
years ago. But yeah, so Paul was catching them on his red crankbait. I was catching them on the red chatterbait, and nobody else was catching shit. And I caught a 5-pounder, and these motherfuckers picked up an orange chatterbait and started catching them, like on the path that I was trying to go. And it sucked. But again, it's like, if you want to fish if you don't want to show anybody your shit, don't fish your spots. Because if you want it, I promise you, especially if people know who you are, right? If you're one of those hammers,
I try now.
like, people are gonna fucking waypoint your stuff.
What are you supposed to do?
But I'm not gonna. On the other hand, like,
I don't know.
if you're
just
catching
not
fish,
throw your bait.
I don't know.
well, no, it's one thing. Like, when I made the buzzbait I always have a buzzbait rigged up. And it's you. And if I'm fishing grass, it's always on the front deck. So like if I might pick my butt. I'm not sitting down and re-rigging because I saw you catch something on something.
Sure.
Because I think that's messed up.
Yeah.
Like if
I
it's
agree.
something that I've been throwing, then sure, I might. I'm probably gonna pick it up.
Now, what if you have it in the rod locker but not on the deck?
I might pull it out. I didn't.
Okay, so
I rigged
that's
it,
like
I rigged it up for a
so
reason.
that's okay. But if you don't have it, I'm not patronizing you. I'm just trying like
no, I
because
get
this is the conversation, right? Like okay, let's say we're out on the flats and I've watched you catch 5 fish flipping a beaver.
But again, it's not gonna.
It's fucked up for me to rig a beaver if I don't already have it. But if I have it in the rod locker, it's fine.
But
Like
there's no unwritten rule. There's
But
no rule
everything's-
that says you can't throw what you just
I
saw that guy
disagree.
catch fish
Everything's
No,
unwritten.
that's definitely an unwritten rule.
I disagree. Everything's
Like,
unwritten.
So wait, if
That's
you
called-
look
that's-
you look up the shoreline 100 yards and you see somebody hauling them in on a spinnerbait, that means you can't throw a spinnerbait.
See, that's why the flats is weird to me. Everything's unwritten. There is no generally agreed upon. Now, you
That's
and
why
I
it's
can
an,
agree on that.
That's why it's that's why it's an unwritten rule and not a written rule.
See, everything's unwritten
Because
though.
it's
So basically, what you're saying is
messed
the
up.
lure I started with, I got to stay with.
I mean, I have 32 rods rigged up right now.
Right.
Like
One of
if
them's
I
got a spinnerbait on.
if I'm not catching fish on those 32 rods, I'm going home.
But that's what
Sure.
that's what I'm trying to say though. Like, so if you're throwing a jig, you're not catching anything. You look across the way, and you see some guy haul 3 in.
I'm not
on
saying that
something
it's-
that you see is flashing and shiny. You're gonna go over and
I'm
pick
not-
up your spinnerbait.
I'm
rod
not
and
saying
start
it's
throwing it.
I'm
or
not
your
saying it's
chatterbait.
I'm not saying it's wrong. It's not necessarily wrong to do that, but it does. It is
Comments
a little.
are flying in right now. I love it.
Love it,
So what I would do, like, because I'm not.
dude. He's not joking either, Jake.
I'm fishing. Yeah, I do. I have 32 rods rigged up right now for tomorrow's tournament. No, it's 27. I took 5.
My issue with the whole thing, and I think this is a
So,
great conversation.
what I'm saying is-
definitely-
Everything's
I wanna
unwritten
Hit, I want to
now.
hit
Like-
300 comments tonight.
So what I'm saying, let me finish my thought here real quick.
absolutely.
I got distracted. So for me, if I'm fishing, like I've been out,
great comment.
I've been out pre-fishing, like I know what I should be doing, right?
Sure.
So if I see somebody catching them on a spinnerbait, I'm just making a mental note of it, and I'm going back to doing what I know I need to do to catch fish.
Sure.
Like, that guy's throwing a spinnerbait. I saw him catch a few. I'm gonna have to remember that.
But how many times have you done the same? You go out and you see somebody catching them on a spinnerbait and you stick to your guns and it doesn't work. Because I've had that happen.
I've had it happen a bunch of times.
Like
Kind of like I like my buddy Patrick's comment in a way because he's kind of split here. He says, "I agree, Chad. You're out there fishing. Do what you need to do. I get people coming close is bullshit, but when you fish your spots with what you want. Unless it's a tournament, things get a little bit more weird in a tournament. I feel like when you're just out fun fishing, you're fishing around, you're figuring out what they're eating.
Oh yeah.
Like it is. You know what I'm saying?
Like, yeah.
But but part
like
of
I'm
the
gonna come up to
strategy-
you. If we're out fun fishing and I see you catching fish, I'll just
Yeah.
come over to you and be like, "Yo, Chad, what are you catching them on?"
Exactly.
Right.
But
Well,
part
that's-
of the-
that's what
part
makes
of the
it fun.
strategy that you go from you got a tournament on Saturday, you're fishing on Thursday, so you're out there and you're fishing. You see one of your buddies out there and you're talking to him. You see him hauling them in on. I mean, I've been talking about a spinnerbait, so I'm just gonna say a freaking spinnerbait, and it's like, okay, this is a bait that is a player for on Saturday.
I bet you did, Dustin. Yeah. So it's I don't know. It's a for me like I don't like it's like a spot. There's two things I want to say. There's two things I want to say before I leave. One, in the rod locker.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Rod lockers do hold a lot of rods.
So one, if there's somebody fishing in an area, and that's like one of the spots that you want to fish. You found fish there in practice, like that's one of the spots you want to fish. But there's somebody fishing there. Pull up, reasonable distance away. Hey man, I found these fish. I found the fish here in practice too. Do you mind if I fish in this area?
sure.
And if they say no, you leave.
Yeah, I agree.
If they say yes, cool. You give them their space. You guys work. You guys don't interfere with each other, and you fish. But like if they say no, like
Respect it.
just
Yeah,
just
just-
remember, You know, I'm gonna say, hey, well, remember that the next time. Remember that the next time you pull up near me, and then I'm leaving. You know, I forgot what the second thing I was gonna say was.
I think it's a good point, though.
Yeah.
I think it's a good, and Phil had a good comment. He said, so we kind of touched on it already, but he said, do the rules change when money's involved? And I think so. I will tell you, in the spot that Buckland and I fished on Saturday or Sunday, there was somebody working their way out, like moving out of the area, clearly moving out. Trolling motor on 10, like little wake behind the boat. Mm-hmm. I catch one. This man did a fucking 180. And I swear to God, he comes up to us and goes,
I don't know
Phil,
why, but I
yes.
feel like it's more funny when there's like, it's not even hidden.
Whatever,
It's like it's
for
right
whatever
there,
reason,
like-
if they were the person who's there first, like that's, you know, they were there first, like for all intents and purposes, like they have the access to that spot,
right.
like that's, you know, that's on them.
So
Patrick, so we talked about this just a little bit earlier, I think before you joined. And
100%, Jim.
we kind of came to that 100 yard, that 80 to 100 yard range. You do not want to be able to cast and cross your bait with another boat. You're too close to the other boat at that point.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I agree.
That is how, in my mind, I gauge how close you are to another boat.
It's like if you're pissing next to a dude and you're crossing streams, you're way too close.
But to be fair, John's comment's
Might be a
also
little bit
true.
different then.
Me and Paul have a running bet who can catch a fish off the back of somebody on each other's boat.
Oh, like if we know we're just fishing club
Did
tournaments
that
or
not
something like
happen
that.
in Joppa that one time?
It did not happen yet.
No, it
thought
has
it
not happened yet.
No. I caught
It's
a
a
fish
fi-
off of a duck in Conowingo one
It's a
time. now.
$5 bet if one of us can catch a fish from underneath the other one's boat.
Yes.
And for this bet, we will literally pull up on each other in club tournaments and right next to each other and start casting.
But now I'm afraid because if I hit Paul's brand new boat, I'm going to feel like a dick.
just don't hit it with like a chatterbait or something.
Yeah, true. I'll just
You hit
cast
it
at
with-
the
you hit it with
show.
You hit it with a Senko, like I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
true.
I don't care.
That's like when it's funny when people like apologize to me when they set the hook flipping and like the weight just slams the side of the boat. Like, I'm sorry. I'm like, dude, this boat's 25 years old. Like, you know how many dings I've put in this thing? Like, it's fine. I'm gonna be sad when I sell that boat. I love that boat. It's a good boat.
Absolutely, and and that's okay, as long as you have the conversation about it.
Right. I'm gonna
Like,
take a leak.
you don't just, in my opinion, just out of respect for other anglers, you don't just pull up right next 10 to 20 feet from somebody and start fishing.
No.
You know, you pull up, you talk to them, at least acknowledge their existence. I had a guy in the Northeast one time, and he was so hell-bent on getting around me to get to this bank that I was fishing anyway, that I'm cutting across from a dock to a rock island, and he's so hell-bent to get around me to fish this bank that he almost ran his boat up onto this rock island. Like he and then turned around.
I remember that.
And then turned around and called me an asshole. The dude never said hi. All he had, if he had just said, hey, and I knew what he was fishing. I knew he was fishing a money tournament. I was just fishing a club tournament. If he had just stopped and said, hey, do you mind if I fish back there? Yeah. Like, I don't care. But at least acknowledge my existence. If you say hi and say, hey, do you mind if I fish back there? Almost the same spot. You know, it was the same dock. You know, I pulled it. I came in. I ran to the dock. It's kind of a little bit of out of the way dock, and Victor. Victor was fishing. We were fishing the same tournament, and he was coming around the other side and coming around the front, and I just stopped right there, waiting for him. Waiting for him to come around the corner and be like, and just said, "Hey Vic, do you mind if I fish here?" And he said, "Yeah, go ahead, no problem." I was like, "Which way do you want me to go?" Because he was fishing this way, so like I didn't necessarily want to go in front of him. Mm-hmm. And he was like, "Well, where do you want to go?" I was like, "I want to go down that side." And he's like, "Yeah, go ahead." Like, no problems, right? Yeah, we didn't have any issues with that.
A little bit of communication.
All it took was a little bit of communication, or I could have been an asshole and just pulled in and started fishing right in front of it. But it is what it is. Some people just don't have any respect for other people.
Yep. I will
And
tell
that's
you
what it
right
all
now.
comes down to. And that's what Jim said earlier, that nobody has nobody has respect for anybody else anymore.
I will tell you right now, that shit does not fly on the lake. Absolutely does not fly on the lake, which is pretty funny because it's literally the only thing that separates it is a dam. But if you pull in on somebody's shit on the lake, you're getting yelled at, and that's how it is up there. I get it.
Yeah, but it happens all the time now.
Last year it did
to
happen
answer
a
Phil's
lot.
question,
It did happen a lot last year.
Phil said, but also if they say no and that's your juice too, and there's big money on the line, the right thing to do in that situation, because if it's a big tournament, guess what? You got boat draws, and that boat draw gets reversed on the second day.
Yep.
So if they say no, all you have to do, and this I'm pulling this from Gerald Swindle. I'm not taking credit for this, but I do completely agree with it. If you pull up and ask them and they say no, all you have to do is tell them, just remember, boat orders reverse tomorrow, and you're going to get the same treatment, when you get here, because I will be sitting here.
And that's why you have a bullet. You can get there first no matter what.
And that's what, and that's also why they reverse boat orders too in bigger
agreed.
tournaments.
Yep.
So it does get, because everybody, in your bigger tournaments, many people will find the same fish.
In this area,
if you're talking like a Bass Open in any area, if you're talking like a Bass Open, there's 250 boats on a lake. People are going to find the same fish.
Yeah.
You would think, Evan.
Yeah, Evan's absolutely right. Evan's absolutely
Some
right.
real, there's some real McAssholes out there.
Yeah.
Well, it's like on the lake last year, everybody camped on you know what spot I'm talking about. Everybody camped on one spot after Big Dave had a good day on it.
Yep.
And he was pissed, and I get it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, dude, there
totally
were
get it.
4 boats on it, like on
Or when-
one spot. I was like, dude, that is ridiculous.
I won't throw out any names, but when somebody rolled up and started fishing right next to Herb,
Who was that?
I'm not going to say any names.
Could we talk after? Because I'm curious. I don't
Yeah,
remember
I'll
that.
tell you.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, Herb was pissed, and somehow magically pulled up right next to him and was throwing the exact same bait he was.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe he was a guide. Maybe he guided him.
But
Is it illegal to use binoculars?
It's frowned upon. Definitely.
I would say it's very frowned upon.
I would say you're a douchebag if you do it. but-
Right. Yeah,
Like, learn how to fish.
I fully agree. Hey, it's just a question. I'm not saying I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, learn how to fish. Now, using binocular, when when we were in Texas, binoculars were used, but it was more to look at the back of pockets. It wasn't looking at boats. It was looking in the back of pockets, so you didn't have to idle all the way back of the pocket.
Right.
That makes sense.
Just saving time. I don't use binoculars.
You should take that out to the flats just to mess with people.
But
Oh my God,
I
your
don't-
name would be.
You'd have
you're-
a spotting scope on
There
your
is a-
front deck.
You'd be more hated than Joe Biden out there doing that.
Tony, there is a guy in my club who has a pair of binoculars, and if he sees somebody catching fish, he will pull those binoculars out and look at them through the binoculars.
Crazy.
Jim, even the old guys, if they look through
And
the
he's been
binoculars and see the bait you're throwing, they're not going to go buy one and start throwing it. They're just going to be like, nothing's going to eat that, man.
And he's been in river rats for 30 years.
Crazy. That's crazy.
That should tell you who it is.
I know who it is. I know who it is.
But that's just how some people are. Some people have zero respect. Like, they don't care. They don't they don't want to go out and put in the time to find their own fish. I can I'm fishing a tournament. I'm fishing a tournament tomorrow. I've been out every day this week, just about. Between me and my partner.
Bro.
Between me and my partner, we've been out every day this week.
Make that shit happen. Please make that shit happen. Please make that shit happen. Please. If you guys saw the text that we just read.
Not tonight. Not tonight.
No, we're not getting into that.
Can't do it
We're
tonight.
not even
I have to go home.
If you guys saw the text that
I
we
have to get up
just
at
got,
3 o'clock in the morning.
Yo.
that would
And I
be
will-
so worth it, though. It would be so worth it.
No, it wouldn't.
Oh, come on. Yes, it would.
No,
Yeah. Oh my God.
it wouldn't be worth. It wouldn't be worth it. But it's not something.
No. We're not talking about this tonight.
Oh,
It's not something.
No, we are not talking.
I'm
about
just
that
saying it's
tonight.
not something I want to miss.
Oh, no
Hell
one's going to
no.
want to miss this.
No one
Nobody's
would
going to
wanna
want to
miss
miss
that.
it if it happens. Oh, my God, please.
That's my hero. Not gonna lie.
Ask him if he wants to come on.
Phil.
The other guy.
Well,
I would
yeah.
love for Phil to come on again.
Yeah, I want Phil to come back on.
The other both. We need both of those guys. Just saying.
Not at the same time.
both
though.
of those
That's
guys.
too
making
much.
us like
It's too much.
freak out on the podcast right
Anyway, I have a tournament tomorrow. I have to get up stupid early, so I am peacing out. I don't know what these guys are doing.
We're probably going to kill it, aren't we?
They
I'm
now.
going to try to get up early, too.
In a couple minutes, we're gonna nuke him.
absolutely Joe Biden's my hero. What do you-
dog's
I
fighting.
mean, isn't that obvious?
That's who we just got the text from. It was from Uncle Joe. He said, "What day is it?" I don't know.
Patrick said when the beer kicks in, dude. Beer, not the text message we just read, would have made you freak out.
Yes.
It would have made you freak out.
I will say
Yes.
there will be, if that happens, there will be a lot of beer drink.
Oh my God.
So much.
I'm gonna need to get a
on
ride.
both
I might-
sides.
I might
on
have to
both
crash on
sides
it.
of the camera.
I might have to crash on your couch.
Yeah. For sure.
With it.
For sure.
I will make sure there's fresh sheets. We're ready to go.
Oh my
Hell yeah,
God,
I'm rocking that Biden Harris 2024.
Phil, we'll be in contact for sure.
Hell yeah,
For
dude. Who was
sure.
it? My girl Mosby avoided going to jail. Proud of her.
Boo, Mosby. I don't know, dude. It's so bad. It's so bad, bro. It's right in our faces, and they laugh. They laugh at us. They
Yeah,
mock
dude,
us.
they just, like-
It's mocking.
It's
It's
nothing.
truly mocking.
Straight up.
Federal charges.
Yes, they mock us.
Like
That's what they do.
Wasn't it like racketeering charges?
Wait,
or
wait,
something?
it was 100 days of homestay. You can't leave your house.
Did she have the same lawyer that Sheila Dixon had? Did anyone think
No, it
of
wasn't
that?
100 days. It was.
When do they?
It was so many months.
I don't think they're hitting the Potomac or the James. Not this year, anyway.
That would be amazing, though.
Just saying.
Patrick, let's get in contact, man. Would love to talk to you. Oh yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
Oh God.
Here we go.
not cool.
Maybe that is about the time that we need to cut the show.
Yes. Hey, great show, everybody. You guys,
everyone,
we had a
for
lot of
joining
fun. Thanks to JCS, Andy, Matt Downs from Trick Tins for joining us.
Yeah.
This was a great show. We like I said, we took a break last week because everyone had tournaments. But
Don't forget Phil Givens with Givens Media.
yes, absolutely.
Definitely hit up Givens Media. Phil, if you're still watching, I don't know if you saw this. I tagged you in Brian Latimer's post the other week because he was looking for a filming person.
I think he was looking for somebody local though.
And we also can't forget, even though he's
that's
not,
why I didn't. That's why I didn't tag him. because he said he was looking for somebody
I
local.
did. I made sure. I
even
tagged
even
him.
though he's not here with us, can't forget Riverboat Rob, who does a lot for the show.
Riverboat Rob.
We absolutely could never
Hold
forget
on,
Riverboat
let
Rob.
me bring up my boy Riverboat Rob right here.
I do. Anytime somebody asks for like a video person, like any of the pros,
Oh,
yeah.
I deleted it. Never mind.
Oh damn it!
Oh, sweet.
Wait, hang on.
I'm glad you did get to talk. I was going to tag you, but I'm glad Chad did. If you talk to him, Brian is a really, really cool dude.
He should come on the show. That'd be sick. But yeah, Rob is not able to join us every Friday, but we appreciate what he does for the show, and we always love an opportunity to get Rob in here as often as he can. I know Rob just dropped a new video, so if you guys haven't checked it out, it's on YouTube. Just check out Riverboat Rob. I think it's the newest episode of Maryland Bass Fishing, so please check it out. Rob always puts out some good stuff, so give him some love too.
Riverboat Rob on YouTube.
I think we're good. It's been a good show.
Good to go.
Recharge the batteries after not being here last week. I think we didn't have any technical issues, so that's always great.
Phil, we love you.
But yeah, we appreciate you guys being on and commenting. How many comments did we have tonight, by the way?
Did we break the 300?
I think we did.
313.
Awesome. Sick.
Appreciate you
Love you
guys,
guys.
man. Love you guys very much. We will see you guys hopefully in the middle of the week for a Tackle Talk Tuesday.